Hereby call the Iberia Parish Council meeting of December 11th to order. It's now 6:05. We'll have the pledge with Ms. Broussard.
Prayer.
Oh, prayer.
Lord, we come before you tonight, giving thanks that we have the opportunity to gather here in chambers and do your work, Lord, and the work of the parish. Lord, I just ask you to be with each and every council member as we make decisions that are important to our community. Give us the wisdom and the guidance to make decisions that are not only pleasing to you, Lord, but that are in the best interest of our community. Lord, I ask you to lift up the victims of the attacks of our people on our military bases, Your Honor. Your Honor, listen to me, I'm in court, huh? Lord, and I ask that you just lift up the victims and their families, Lord, and I ask that you keep our military safe. We have military abroad and at home, and we always think that they're at risk abroad, Lord, but obviously they're at risk at home as well, and we just ask you to keep them safe. And we ask all of this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Mr. Pollard, lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Tommy Pollard,
Here.
Michael Landry,
Here.
Tommy Landry, Lloyd Brown, Warren Goshasing, Natalie Broussard,
Here.
Paul Landry,
Here.
Ricky Gonsalves, Joe Dugas, Eugene Olivier, Brian Napier, Berwick Francis, Marty Trahan, Chad Macheran.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we'll begin. Need a motion and a second to go into public comments. I have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Pollard. Roll call. Okay, we're now in public comments. The public comment policy allows for 3 minutes per person. Item number 1, comments from the general public on non-agenda items. We did not have any of the forms filled out for non-agenda items, so we'll go ahead and move on to item number 2, comments from the general public on agenda items. A, persons being considered for appointment to parish boards and commissions to address the council. First, I think we have Ms. Liz Bonan. Ms. Liz, would you go to the podium?
Good evening. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Liz Bowden. I am currently the IDF chair. IDF has nominated me for the Iberia Parish Convention and Tourist Centers Board appointment. So I have served on that board several years back, numerous times. So I'm just asking for your approval to be able to be part of their board.
Well, thank you, Ms. Liz.
Do we have
I
any
think
questions?
No, we don't have any questions, but I think you're highly qualified. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Paul.
Next up, do we have Mr. Willie Polite that's here for the mosquito?
Good evening. I'm Reverend Willie Polite, and I'm on the Iberia Parish Mosquito Abate District. I'm the chairman of that board, and I've just come back to request to be on the board another term.
Okay. Any questions? No questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next up, Mr. Timothy Viator.
Hello, I'm Tim Viatar. I'm also applying for another board seat that I've been on the Iberia Parish Mosquito Abatement Board and looking to be reappointed for another term. So,
Okay. Thank you very much. And I received a phone call from Mr. Ronald Clark. He'll be coming to the next meeting. He had some things to go over. Next, we have Miss Rebecca McGee. Miss Rebecca?
Only if you have any questions.
Oh, okay. And that'll be on a later item, 201. Okay. Is there anyone else in the audience that wanted to speak on any of the items on the agenda tonight that didn't fill out a form? Okay, seeing none, I'll take a motion and a second to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Mr. Olivier, And a second by Mr. Brown. Roll call. Okay, we're now back in regular session. Reports, finance, and administrative action, we have none. Reports, parish and other governmental agencies. The monthly billing report dated November 19th was in your packet. Public Works reports, item number 1, Public Works Department report for closed work orders dated November 11th to 15th, and the 18th to the 22nd of 2019 was in your packet. Item number 2, Public Works Department report on open work orders dated November 19th, 2019 was in your packet. Special business, we have none. Council member announcements. Do any of the council members have any announcements? Okay, first up, we have Ms. Broussard.
Yeah, I would just like to mention again, Noel, Iberia, the displays have all been put out. They have up there the list of where the displays are and who sponsored them. I'd like to thank Mr. Eugene, Paul, Chad, and Larry. Those are council members that participated and put up displays, as well as Brad Davis and James Trahan, which are council members elect. In total, we have 11 people participating, but one person has multiple. Lady Brown too is participating, I'm sorry. But one person has multiple ones. So I think we have about 13 or 14 displays. I drove all around and looked at all of the displays, and it's very exciting. I know Mr. Reshort has gotten a lot of positive feedback from doing the courthouse, and the community's really responding. So I just want to thank everybody for participating in it, and we hope this is the first of many projects, and participation will be even greater next time.
Okay, does anyone else have council member announcements? Seeing none, we'll move on to parish president announcements. Mr. Reshort.
Public Works completion report. Debris pickup in District 8, 12, and 14. We had some downed trees in District 8, 9, and 12. We did some field drainage work in District 9, roadside drainage work in District 10, some grading work in District 2, 3, 9, 12, and 14. We did road patching in District 5, 8, 10, 11, 13, and 14. Side boom work in District 6, and shoulder work in District 13. Just for your information, and it's just a reminder, really, that if you haven't taken your ethics training or your sexual harassment training for 2019, you need to contact Donna so you can do it before the end of 2019. One other thing I want to pass on is on Monday, the parish, we had visitors from CDBG monitoring the state sewer rehab program that we have going on. So that took place on Monday. As of now, we have auditors in the office performing preliminary audit procedures for state agreed upon procedures and testing controls. The other thing is, today I had some council members come and visit the Public Works facility. We had Brad Davis, Lady Brown, Brian Napier, and I think they were pretty well impressed with that particular facility. It's coming along very, very well. We look to move into that building in January. Another thing, I had a replacement value assessment done on that property by the same person that did the appraisal when we purchased the building, which is Joy Dirwan. And the replacement value of that building that we put like $1.7 million, $1.8 million in is $4,480,000. So as you can see from the right up the top, we have a replacement value of more than $2.6 million. So I think that that's going to show you right there there was a series move that we made in the parish. Not only are we going to save because it's centrally located on fuel and other things, but I think it was a very good move for the parish. We have a long meeting, so with that said, I'm going to stop right now. Thank you.
Okay, next item up. Yep.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Mr. Richard, could you give us, the council and the public, an update on where we are with Public Works Director and planning and zoning.
Yes,
Just
sure
for
we
the
can.
file.
As you know, Herman retired last month, and as of now, Dexter is working in a supervisory position. I won't say as the Public Works Director, because he still have the same title that he have. We are going to make that announcement at the first meeting in January after we all swear in with the new council as to the Works Director and everything else that goes along with it. As far as the Planning and Zoning Director, Sarah have 2 more days, and we have publication going out, and we're trying to we're seeking to find someone to handle that job or take that job, but that's a very, very serious and it's a unique position. So with her leaving, it gave us an opportunity to look at doing a number of different things that we perhaps could have done in the past. You know, sometimes when you think it's a crisis, it's bring pretty decent things. So right now, we're looking at a lot. So we will not, in January, at that first meeting, be announcing a planning and zoning director. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. We have to find someone that's gonna be suitable to move this parish forward as far as planning and zoning.
So you have, you out there searching, you
absolutely.
have put out
Absolutely.
okay. And just to say, yeah, the facility at Public Works,
Yeah.
it is coming along real nice, it looks good, and can't wait for it to be utilized.
And we look to
Good
move
job.
into that facility in January. Right now, we have moved the sign shop over there, and you've seen they got all that
Absolutely.
squared
No, it
away.
looks good, everything looks
We,
good.
but we have some plans, and we have some deep plans for that building.
Yeah.
That's going to do a lot, I think, to better Iberia Parish moving forward.
And it's in a very good district, if I should say
Yeah,
so
I
myself.
must admit, it's in the
Yeah.
middle of the parish.
District 11, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next,
You're welcome.
moving on to consent agenda items, for public hearing to be voted on tonight. Minutes, the regular minutes of November 20th, 2019. Summary number 194, introduced by the parish president, a resolution granting substantial completion to the LCDBG FY 18 to 19 sewer system improvements, sewer rehabilitation project. All is completed by Construction Pro Incorporated and is recommended by Staples Engineering and Consulting LLC. Summary number 195, introduced by legal counsel, a resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor or other agreement with the South Central Planning and Development Commission for the purpose of applying for grant and other funding for or on behalf of Iberia Parish Government and Association or in conjunction with its Region 6 Louisiana Watershed Initiative partners to provide for the effective date thereof and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. Is there any of the consent agenda items that anyone would like to remove at this time? Seeing none, roll call. Oh, I have a motion by Michael Landry and a second by Mr. Olivier. No further discussion? Roll call. Okay, those motions pass. Okay. As a courtesy, I'm going to go to item number summary 201. 201, introduced by the Planning Commission, a resolution granting preliminary plat approval to the subdivision of property of Sharon Lizard Morgan, lots 1 to 5, located on Louisville Road, subject to compliance with staff recommendations 1 through 2 and plat revisions 1 through 9, located in District 9. All is reviewed and recommended by the Iberia Parish Regional Planning Commission. Have a motion by Mr. Dugas. Have a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Dugas? Okay, Mr. Olivier. Okay, no further discussion. Roll call. Okay, that motion does pass. Okay, now we'll go back to summary number 170. Introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution appointing one member to the Iberia Parish Hospital Service District Number 1 Board for a 4-year term to fill a vacancy created by the expiration of term of Mr. Larry Henskins, whose term expires on December 27, 2019. Appointment applications received from A. Larry Henskins, B. Ronald John Lewis, C. Frederick G. Metz Jr., and D. Zachary P. Mitchell Sr. Note the tabled from October 23rd, 2019 meeting. As a side note, Mr. Zachary Mitchell has not come to the council to speak, so we'll be just pulling from the A, B, and C candidates. So if you vote on your pad, okay, here we go. District 1, Ronald John Lewis. District 2, Ronald John Lewis. District 3, Ronald John Lewis. District 4, Ronald John Lewis. Roland. District 5, Larry. District 6, Larry. District 7, Larry. District 8, Larry. District 9, Roland. District 10, Roland. District 11, Larry. District 12, Roland. District 14, Larry. Okay. So the vote rolls as Mr. Larry Henskins had 6 votes, Mr. Roland John Lewis had 7, and we had 1 absent. So if we go ahead and get our district papers and vote again.
Tommy, you gave us 2.
As a reminder, all the council members can only vote 1 time. Oh, yes. Okay, district number 1, Roland. District number 2, Roland. District 3, Roland. District 4, Roland. District 5, Larry. District 6, Larry. District 7, Larry. District 8, Larry. District 9, Roland. District 10, Roland. District 11, Larry. District 12, Roland. And District 14, Larry. Okay. On the second vote, Larry Henskins, 6, Roland, 7, and we have 1 absent. I guess it might be. No, his blood pressure is like 180. Yeah. Okay, third round, District 1, Roland. District 2, Roland. District 3, Roland. District 4, Roland. District 5, Larry. District 6, Larry. District 7, Larry. District 8, Larry. District 9, Roland. District 10, Roland. District 11, Larry. District 12, Roland. District 14, Larry. Okay, the votes on this round, Mr. Larry Henskins has 6 votes, Roland John Lewis has 7, and we have 1 absent. Okay, here we go. Round 4. District 1 is Roland. District 2 is Roland. District 3 is Roland. District 4 is Roland. District 5 is Larry, 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 Larry. District 6 is Larry. District 7 is Larry. District 8 is Larry. District 9 is Roland. District 10 is Roland. District 11 is Larry. District 12 is Roland. District 14 is Larry. We could work. If we use dominoes, Warren, we could fix the roads. This is it again. Okay, this round, Larry Henskin has 6 votes, Roland has 7, and we have 1 absent. Okay, District 1, Roland. District 2, Roland. District 3, Roland. District 4, Roland. District 5, Larry. District 6, Larry. District 7, Larry. District 8, Larry. District 9, Roland. District 10, Roland. District 11, Larry. District 12, Roland. District 14, Larry. Okay, round 5, we have Larry Henskin with 6 votes, Roland with 7, and we have 1 absent. You're right, they could have gave us some nerve gas or something. At a certain point, could I just say we're gonna move on and do another business and come back? District 1, Roland. District 2, Roland. District 3, Roland. District 4, Roland. District 5, Larry. District 6, Larry. District 7, Larry. District 8, Larry. District 9, Roland. District 10, Roland. District 11, Larry. District 12, Roland. District 14, Larry. Okay, the results on round 6 is Larry Henskin 6, Roland has 7, and 1 absent.
Seven.
7. Oh. No, you must have tore. Oh, he didn't fill it in? Okay. you filled it.
just an extra.
Okay. Go on 7. Okay, round 7. District 1 is Roland. District 2 is Roland. District 3 is Roland. District 4, Roland. District 5, Larry. District 6, Larry. District 7, Larry. District 8, Larry. District 9, Roland. District 10, Roland. District 11, Larry. District 12, Roland. District 14, Roland. Okay. This round, Larry Henskin has
6. This is 6, the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You got it? You got it? Who switched?
so it's 5-8.
Oh.
Okay, Larry Henskin has 5 votes, Roland has 8, and we have 1 absent. So, Mr. Roland, you're appointed to the hospital board. Okay. Okay, summary number 171, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution appointing 1 member to the Iberia Parish Hospital Service District Number 1 Board for a 4-year term to fill a vacancy created by the expiration of term of Mr. Frederick Metz Jr., whose term expires December 27, 2019. Appointment applications received from A. Larry Henskins, B. Roland John Lewis, C. Frederick Metz, and D. Zachary Mitchell. Note tabled from the October 23rd meeting. In this vote, we will not be voting on D. Zachary Mitchell or B. Roland John Lewis. Okay, first one up, District 1 is Larry, District 2 is Mr. Metz, District 3, Metz, District 4, Metz, District 5, Larry, District 6, Larry, District 7, Larry, District 8, Larry, District 9, Metz, District 10, Larry, District 11, Larry, District 12, Metz, District 14, Larry. The voting was Mr. Larry Henskins has 8 votes, Mr. Bozo Metz has 5, and we had 1 absence. So, Mr. Larry Henskins, you'll be appointed back to the hospital board. Okay, summary number 192, introduced by the clerk of the council. A resolution appointing Ms. Elizabeth Bonan to the Iberia Parish Tourist Commission, representing the Iberia Industrial Development Foundation for a 1-year term. Note this was tabled from the November 20th, 2019 Iberia Parish meeting. Have a motion by Michael Landry and a second by Ms. Broussard. Michael Landry.
Waive.
Ms. Broussard. No further discussion. Roll call. Brian. Okay. That motion passes. Ms. Liz, you'll be appointed to the board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Liz. Summary number 196, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution amending the 2019 general fund budget in the amount of $1,775 to provide funding for an adjustment to the president's annual salary for the remainder of 2019 from $159,921 to $163,004 and related benefits, all in accordance with the Iberia Parish Home Rule Charter, and all to be funded from the fund balance previous year's line item. I have a motion by Mr. Brown. I have a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Brown.
Waive.
Mr. Olivier.
I waive.
Okay, Mr. Napier.
I'm okay with all that, but just can we explain just to us and to the public how we got to that?
I'll tell you what, I'll let the finance chairman go into detail.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry, but so the next one I see, is that all
Yeah,
tied in?
it'll
Could
be
you-
tied in
So I don't have to
together.
ask again? Can you
Yes.
just explain?
According to our home rule charter, the parish president's pay is the average of the assessor, the clerk, and the sheriff. So the sheriff's salary, and I'm sure Mr. Shealy will correct me if I say anything wrong, but the sheriff's salary is controlled by the state. The sheriff's got a raise that went into effect on July 1st of 2019. Our charter says that we are supposed to make the amendment to our parish president's pay at the next regular scheduled meeting after the raise goes into effect. We did not do that, but so Mr. Richard's pay has to be retroactive to when the sheriff's raise went into effect. So that's affecting July 1st to December 31st for 2019, and then the next resolution, although we passed a budget for 2020 last week, it did not include that raise due to the sheriff's department, the sheriff's salary getting raised. So that's why we have to amend 2020's budget already to be in compliance with the charter.
So for the record, it goes, is it gonna go to 163? Am I looking at it right?
It will go to 163, yeah, 163,000.
With the benefits, is that
That
the
does not
total
include the
benefit?
benefits.
That's not included?
That does not include the benefits.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to,
Okay, Mr. Olivier?
I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Goshasan?
Natalie, and I know you reviewed this a lot, at any point in time, is based upon how much knowledge is in some of those offices, correct? So if we have a new sheriff coming on in 2020, at what point in time do we go back and look at this to see what his pay scale is going to be?
Whenever there is an adjustment in it, but I'm not aware of there being anything that the new sheriff would be paid anything less.
Okay, so there's no certificates like the clerk or anything training wise?
The information that I got, there's not on the sheriff's.
There is one component that could change. they each have a 7% amount,
Okay.
but they're also given, I think, 2 years to get the certification. And I can assure you, nobody's going to let that 2 years pass without getting that certification to get that additional income.
Yes.
So, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, I will not be in support of the agenda. I do realize what the charter states, and just for the record.
And to answer,
Should we break it
to
all the
address
time?
Mr. Landry, the assessor doesn't take office until January 1st of 2021. So that would not affect the parish president's pay for 2020, even if the new assessor didn't have the certificates.
And just as a side note, I'll let you know, the last legislative session, the legislature gave the judges a 2.5% raise for 4 years in a row, and the sheriff is tied to the judges. So this is something we'll be seeing.
It will go up
As we
again in
go.
2021.
Yeah, so, do we have any other discussion? Roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 197, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution amending the 2020 general fund budget in the total amount of $3,516 to provide adjustments to the president's annual salary for fiscal year 2020 from $159,921 to $163,004 and related benefits, all in accordance with the Iberia Parish Home Rule Charter, and all to be funded from the fund balance previous year's line item. I have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Michael Landry. Mr. Brown.
Waive.
Michael Landry.
Waive.
Any further discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call. Tommy? Yep. That motion passes. Summary number 198, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution announcing the regular meetings of the Iberia Parish Council to be held for fiscal year 2020. Have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Ms. Broussard. Mr. Brown? Ms. Broussard?
Wait.
No further discussion, roll call. Motion passes. Summary number 199, introduced by the clerk of the council, a resolution approving and accepting the 2020 Acadiana Crime Lab fund budget of revenues and expenditures, all is recommended by the Acadiana Crime Lab Commission. Have a motion by Ms. Broussard. Have a second by Mr. Olivier. Ms. Broussard.
Waive.
Mr. Olivier. No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 200, introduced by the Planning Commission, a resolution granting preliminary plat approval for Sugarland Estates Development LLC, Track A, located in Sugar Trace Lane, subject to compliance with staff recommendations 1 through 6, and plat provisions 1 through 2, located in District 8, all to be is reviewed and recommended by the Iberia Parish Regional Planning Commission. I have a motion by Mr. Olivier. I have a second by Tommy Landry. Mr. Olivier.
I'm good.
Tommy Landry. No further discussion. Roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 202, introduced by the clerk of the council. A resolution appointing Ms. Fran Henderson as a member of the Iberia Economic Development Authority, representing Iberia Parish Districts 1 through 7 for a 3-year term to fill a vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Mr. Chad Kuchwa, whose term expires December 31st, 2019. I have a motion by Ms. Broussard, a second by Michael Landry. Before we go any further, I would like to,
I'll make it in my motion.
okay.
Mr. Landry, I'd like to move to table this to the December 18th meeting. Ms. Henderson has an illness in the family and cannot be here to speak tonight, so request that it be tabled to give her the opportunity to come speak before us.
Okay. Okay, so I have a substitute motion by Ms. Broussard to table it to the next meeting of December 18th. Is that okay with Michael? Okay, no further discussion, roll call. You have to push it. And motion passes. Summary number 203, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 general fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Brown? Mr. Olivier? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 204, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 Fire Protection District Number 1 fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Gonsalas and a second by Mr. Brown. Mr. Gonsalas?
I'll waive.
Mr. Brown? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 205, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 Public Buildings Maintenance Fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Brown. Have a second by Mr. Napier. Mr. Brown? Mr. Napier? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 206, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 royalty fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Michael Landry. Mr. Brown? Mr. Landry? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 207, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 Texaco Royalty Fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Brown? Mr. Olivier? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 208, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 Acadiana Fairgrounds Commission fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Gonsalas, a second by Ms. Broussard. Mr. Gonsalas? Ms. Broussard? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 209, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 Risk Management Fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. Have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Brown? Mr. Olivier? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Summary number 210, introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2019 non-expendable trust fund budget to provide for year-end adjustments. I have a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Olivier. Mr. Brown? Mr. Olivier? No further discussion, roll call. That motion passes. Okay, we take a motion to adjourn, but don't get up, we're going to roll right into the committee meetings.